down below whether you're watching live or which location and which city you're watching from. All right. And then meanwhile, let me usually do the stuff where I'm going to check my sound. Okay, awesome. You guys can hear me. Okay, so I want to dive into this topic about storytelling strategies to close deals faster because, like, I think last 2 weeks, a lot of people, a lot of my friends, like you guys, audience, actually sent me a DM, like asking, like, "Oh my God, June, I recently I haven't been closing deals." Right. And then whether you're a high ticket or low ticket or medium ticket, it doesn't matter. We all wanted to know how we are able to supercharge in order to get more higher paying clients or to get a clients who are willing to pay us like on time, right? So that is where I wanted to dive into this topic today. And then if let's say you want to learn all the storytelling strategies that I've been using in my business as well, so remember to stay tuned to the end. Okay, welcome back. So if let's say you haven't joined our Facebook group, remember to join our Facebook group at www.amazingstory.co to receive more mini masterclass just like this. Okay, so I'm going to talk about storytelling strategies. Okay, why storytelling works every single time is because when we tell a story, people don't feel like we are selling. That's the main point. And whenever you want to close a deal, you do not want to let your prospect or your audience to feel like you are selling them something. Let's think about it. When was the last time that someone actually sell you something, tried to sell something? Like, let's think about it. Is it like this week? Like today is just starting like Monday, right? Anyone try to sell something to you this week or last week? If let's say yes, can you just comment down below and let me know? Hey David, nice to see you here. I'm live. Okay. So most likely I actually have someone try to sell me few things last week. One of them, I think they are trying to they see me as prospect, which has nothing wrong about it. And then they try to send me to their free trainings, which I didn't ask for. So that's why I want to talk about this. When you try to use storytelling strategies, your goal is to lower down the guard of your prospect so that they don't even sense that you are selling stuff, but instead they want to ask you, hey, can you send me the free training? Okay. The worst things that we want to give away is that people feel like we did not ask for permission and then we send them whatever links that we have. Do you guys have this prior experience like you did not ask for an advice or you did not ask for a link or you did not even ask for a free training video and then someone just like send you the way? How did you feel about that? You didn't feel good, right? So that's the reason why today we need to dive into the storytelling strategies. Okay, if let's say you realize what I have been doing in the past 1 minute or so, I tell you guys a story of how I received few DM last week, send me the link and how I feel about that, right? It was a storytelling. Do you guys realize that? Okay, so one of the key thing that you want to make your story compelling is that I always use a personal story of mine, right? To try to relate to the similar topic. Like let's say just now, what was I doing? I was trying to connect with you guys by asking a question. So storytelling strategy number one is by asking a relevant question to the story that you want to tell, right? So I usually start with my storytelling with what if or if, something that let people imagine, or I ask them whether they have a similar experience. So tip number one is always ask a question to have your audience to ring a bell, to imagine, so that you guys are on the same page, right? So for example, if let's say I want to redo the session just now, I would say, hey guys, what if let's say you want to get even more higher paying clients, but then you do not want to give them the feeling that you are selling to them? What you should do? The answer is by telling a story. So I begin the whole session by asking you a story, and then second part, what did I do? I actually tell you guys a story. Like last week, I was being sold by few people, although there isn't any hard feelings for me because I know how it works. But for someone who is starting out, right? For someone who don't know, like why people are keep constantly asking you a lot of different questions just to send you the link, you may feel offended, right? So that's why I ask you guys to like, rethink a moment in time that whether you have this similar experience. When we ask a relevant question, what if, ask people to imagine. And then secondly, we tell our own story, right? And then thirdly, we ask our audience to see if they have similar relatable story that happened to them. They're like, yeah, we get a first yes, right? So in the end, all about deal closing is that we want to get as many yeses as possible at the very beginning so that it's easier for us to transit to the offer to get a yes. Does it make sense to you guys? So if let's say this is making sense, give me a hashtag make sense down below. Because I realize sometimes we all know the concept. We all know that, you know what, we shouldn't let our prospect or let our potential clients to feel like they're very salesy. But then sometimes some of us, like, because you haven't been achieving your KPI, let's say, you are panic. And when you are in the panic mode, you kind of forgot that sales closing is a process. It is a funnel. You cannot sell to people right away when someone who don't know you at all, right? You have to transit them. Like, firstly, I always love to talk about this into dating, right? You have to like date for coffee, have a coffee date, have a movie date, have a lot of dates before you can kind of like close the deals to have like your partner to become your loved one, right? To become your girlfriend or boyfriend, doesn't matter, or become your wife and husband. So everything comes in process. So which brings to the point number 2. Storytelling strategies is about telling the right story at the right time. Okay, so why do I say that telling a right story at the right time is so duper important? You have to know where your audience is at the moment. Okay, so let me try to think of an example. How can I relate to that? So let's say today, let's say just give a scenario, right? I'm trying to convince you guys to start doing Facebook Live. Let's say, because that is what I do, right? I'm do the best because I always do Facebook Live. I'm trying to convince you guys to do Facebook Live, but for you can't even start publishing any contents, written contents. You haven't really published a written contents maybe in a social media or in your Facebook, or you can't even post your photos online because you're like, you do not want to make yourself public. You are afraid of so many different security. You just do not want to make your face known to the public, including a photo of yourself, right? You can't even post a photo. So if let's say you can't even post a photo, if I'm trying to tell, hey, you know what, you should do Facebook Live. So now the question, will you do a live video when you don't even want to post a single photo of yourself? Probably, and most likely you won't, because you're not at a stage at the video. You're still at a stage of putting yourself out there, putting your photo out there, start writing blog posts out there to be heard, right? So that's why if let's say I were to sell you something, let's say I want to ask you to like start doing Facebook Live, I wouldn't talk to you as if like you know nothing and then suddenly you need to go to Facebook Live. But instead, I would tell you what are the benefits that you should actually do a little bit more branding yourself by putting your contents, written contents out there. If let's say you're someone who is not ready to put your photo out there, I will then encourage you to start writing just anonymously, having a pen name to get used to writing, right? And then if let's say you are someone who has been written a lot of posts, written a lot of content, I will then tell you, hey, you know what? Based on the written content, why not you can include a photo of yourself, right? Start putting yourself out there to start building the personal branding that people can recognize you. And then after you have been writing, blogs, right, for a while, or contents in your Facebook or in your Instagram for a while, that is where I will tell you, hey, you know what? Since you have been writing for some time, why not, instead of writing this time where people cannot feel your energy, they cannot feel your enthusiasm, it's time that you actually do a video about it, right? Does it make sense to you guys? So sometimes Telling the right story and asking the right question at the moment in time, at the right timing is so duper important. So, my question back to you. Okay, what are the recent stories that you have been telling to your audience in the hope that to close the deals? Are you trying to tell a story that is too far fetched away? Just like back to the story that I told you guys just now. If let's say you don't even put yourself out there, you don't even dare to put your own photo out there, by telling you to do a video that is a very, very scary process, right? And most likely you wouldn't buy the idea, right? So, which brings me to the third point of storytelling strategy. Why do we tell a story of our personal story is that we want to be able to connect with the audience. And can you feel like the entire session when we are telling a story, people feel like it's more like a conversation that I'm having with you over a lens, or the conversation that I have within myself. Okay, what are the key mistakes that those beginners they are making and trying to close the deals is that from zero they directly go to like 100%. I want to get a yes or no, but they forgot the element of relationship. They kind of forgot the element of people need time to think about it, and maybe they don't need now, maybe they need this somewhere down the future. So that's why if let's say you are being too harsh on yourself on, hey, you know what, today this is the deal that I might close. Yes, it's good that you set a KPI, but sometimes do not put yourself too hard that your prospect can feel that you really want to get a sale and that get pressured. Nobody love to buy things when they are being pressured to do so. Can you guys do you guys feel what I'm saying right now? So now back to you. When was the last time that you feel and you sense that someone is like pressuring you to buy something that they are selling? How did you feel? Right? Comment down below, how did you feel? Okay, so the next tip about, okay, so let us recap of what we have learned so far. So we talked about storytelling strategy. Firstly is that we want to lower the guard of our prospect, of our potential clients. So that's why I always start my any presentation or any storytelling by asking a question, what if, or if. And then secondly, I'll ask them a question, I'll tell them a story that is relatable in their experience. And I ask a question, just like I ask you guys a question, like, when was the last time that someone is trying to hard sell you something? How did you feel? I want this to be a relatable experience for them so that they will replay in their mind and they are able to connect with me, right? And after that, we talk about we have to tell a story or ask a question at the right timing. If let's say your audience is still at like, at an awareness phase, awareness, they just got to know you, don't try to sell them directly. It will not work. You are just going to scare people off. That's where I will actually follow up with this story, the personal story of mine, by asking you back the question. When was the last time that you were being compelled, and when you were being forced to buy something, and what was the experience? I have this to replay in your mind as well. So, can you guys realize that whenever we are trying to sell a presentation or a storytelling, right, or a pitch, right, or a webinar, we always want to ask few questions. For example, you can always ask, does it make sense to you guys? Question type number one. Question type number two, do you guys see what I'm doing right now? All right. Question type number three, is this experience relatable to you guys? Like, what do you guys feel about that? Okay. Asking a question is very powerful because when you ask the right questions, your audience will replay that in their mind, right? And it is kind of like they are persuading themselves for you. Let me repeat that. Because of the question that you ask, your audience are persuading themselves for you because they already have their guard lowered. They are replaying all these different questions in their mind and they are compelled to answer you subconsciously. Do you guys see what I'm doing right now? So it is exactly the same thing that we are doing. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, so which brings me to the point. Your job in storytelling is to mix your perspective to feel like it is their idea. that they want, is their idea that they want to listen to you. So that's why you need to tell story as bad as it sounds. Like maybe it can be a funny story of you, like when you're starting out. Like let's say you are, we are talking about you are a service provider, you are a digital marketing agency, or you are funnel builders, or you are a coach who sells a program. Maybe you are a, let me think, fitness coach. Maybe you can tell a story by showing how unhealthy your lifestyle was before you embark on your fitness journey. By showing a lot of like photo of yourself before the change, it will actually let your audience feel like, oh my god, I can do it as well. If let's say June was like having an unhealthy lifestyle, if let's say June was unable to do Facebook live like in the past, then maybe I can do so as well. So that's why it always shows the before and after the change, right? That's where people want to see. Because a lot of times when let me share a story with you. Like for example, every time that I ask my students to start doing Facebook Live, right, this is the response that I got. Like, oh my God, June, you know what? I can't be just like you. I totally can't be just like you because you are different. You are June. You already done so many different Facebook Live. That's what you can do. But here's the thing. I tell them, you know what, guys, this is totally not true. I will actually tell them that why is it not true is because I started just like that. I started from zero, right? And in order to make it even more convincing, this is what I did. I want to show you guys. This is what I did in order to make it convincing in the storytelling, right? I actually have this. Let me share my screen. In order to make it sound convincing, I kind of like I record. I show them how I was looking when I first starting out. So I'm just going to play this video. Oh, Han. I wonder whether you guys can see. Let me show my video. Okay. I will share my screen right away and I will show you guys why I say so. All right. Okay. So let me play the video. But it's a bit slow though.
So
Okay.
basically, this is my first live.
Let me replay it.
Hi guys, so basically this is my first live. I created this Facebook profile of mine because I wanted to like make it really clean where I just want to do it for my new business where uh, I want to get to know like this community of people using a so
Okay, so I believe that you guys saw that. All right. That was me back then when I was starting out. So after I tell them the story, just like what we say, storytelling, right? After I tell them before and after, I have them believe that I was starting just like them. They feel like it is very relatable. So that's why right now I want you to think about your industry or your niche or your expertise, right? I want you to go back in time to think about you are doing what you're doing right now. Maybe you are a fitness coach, right? Maybe you are the mindset coach, or maybe you're a funnel builders, you're a digital marketing agency. What have got you started in doing what you are doing right now? You must have started somewhere, right? Somewhere where you know nothing. And then because of an incident, you decided, you know what, I'm going to find a way to master it, even though I suck. But you know what? I'm just going to, start finding information, start finding knowledge, and start finding mentors, start finding a relevant course, and I'm going to deep dive into it and be consistent to do what I'm doing right now so that one day I'll become someone who you are right now. So same thing. I want you to think back in time. What was the moment that inspired you? And share the inspiration with your audience, and that's how you're able to connect with them. Okay, so this is one thing that actually worked for me all the time in different business that I'm in, whether it's in the technology company that I've done. I actually use the storytelling strategy that just now I share with you guys. I was participating in a competition where actually it was the first time after so many years that I've done that competition. I was like so damn nervous. I was in front of an audience of almost like 500 people. I couldn't believe it. But I was only given like 5 minutes to kind of like sell the story of my business so that if let's say I won, I can walk away. I think about $800, I think $900, right? $800 to $900. And trust me, it was my first time after so many years. And then for that pitch itself, even though for 5 minutes I practiced about 500 times, like I don't know, it's like I think minimum 100 times, not 500 times, totally is 500 minutes. It's like crazy. But when I tell people that story, right, they was like, oh my god, June, I always thought that you can like talk nonstop, but I didn't know that you need to practice so many times for the 5 minute pitch. So same thing. That's how people get to know you personally. So that's why today, here's your task. Maybe you are not ready to do video right now. It's totally fine. But today, the key takeaway, I want you to talk about. Please give me a comment down below. What is the main key takeaway, whether you're replaying it at the replay session or the live session? What is the main key takeaway that you take from this mini live or mini masterclass I'm doing today? So, what's your to-do list? Your to-do list is that based on your niche and based on your industry, I want you to tell what is the thing that actually inspired you to do what you're doing right now today. And I want you to share a story. Maybe you are not comfortable in doing video. Why not you start by actually start with a long post, start with written post. Let other people get to know you personally. That's the key number one in building a personal branding. Okay, so tell your story, and remember, the more personal story that you can tell and the more emotional, and if let's say you can show people the before and after story by combining the relevant question to ask your audience, I know you're able to attract even more potential clients to look for you. But if let's say, depending on which journey you're at, maybe you're someone, you know what, June, I already done that. So how to up level? Your up level right now is to, the next question is that you need to ask yourself, how can you make sure that the story that you are telling, you are able to insert your energy, your enthusiasm, your passion, so that people can feel you. Not only they can feel you through the words that you have written, not only they can feel through the photo that you have put out, but how can they feel your energy? The next challenge that you have is to be able to do a video to talk about it. Which I know, why would I go that? Because it's more scalable. It is scalable because your energy will stay there forever. And the video, whoever asks you how you get started, you can send them your way. You put a recorded video, put it in YouTube, and you can send them your way. I know what you're thinking. You might be thinking, oh my god, June, I'm not a video person. I'm introvert. When I see the lens, I will kind of like, oh my god, I do not know what to talk. I got super nervous. I feel you, because that's how me and my student got started. Like, that's the reason why that if let's say you're thinking that, hey, you know what, you want to be able to tell your story in a video way, you have been used to like a written format, and you want to be able to tell your story in a video way, right? So that you are able to close deals easier and faster by building a personal branding of yourself, by able to channeling all your energy, all your passion, and all your enthusiasm in a video. Look no further and join us in our 7-day live video challenge at www.amazingchallenge.us. I'm putting a link down below. So what we are going to do in this video challenge, this is not a course, right? We have done a lot of courses, right? Because we all know that we are guilty of courses. Why? Once we bought the course, we kind of like thought like, you know what? I am healed. It's something like once we bought the medicine, we thought like we are healed, but it's not the way. Course, it's we need to have like accountability and we need to have like accountability and implementation. We need to eat the medicine. You bought the medicine, you bought the course, but you need to eat the medicine. Then only your sickness will be cured, right? So same thing. If let's say you want to be able to like do a video to tell a story, whether it will be in the future you want to do a offline presentation or online webinar, or you want to be able to record a video sales letter, just because you're super tired of like constantly texting, constantly messaging, you feel like so super tiring. Video is the way to scale yourself. And that's why this 7-day live video challenge is not a course. It's not another course that you're going to enroll, because we are going to do the homework together. This is an implementation course where you are going to get daily mentorship and daily guidance with me, from me, in a Facebook group where you're going to meet a lot of challenges and a lot of classmates who are starting out just like you. And it is a fun part where we are all starting out beginners, and then you won't be afraid that, you know what, this is your first video you are going to devote to us. I know it sounds is it's difficult to believe, but I since June 2021, which means 2 months ago, I kind of like make a I was like thinking, hey, you know what, June 21st is like your birthday, right? Why not do something that is like something that you have never done before? So that's why I decided, you know what, just come up with some amazing challenge. I have never done any challenges before. I mean, I have never hosted any challenges before. So I decided, you know what, whether it suck or not, why not just start it? And then I will then find whether this is something that I want to do for a long term. So same thing as you guys. You can start video first to see if, let's say, it's something that you want to do in the future. And we are all starting as a beginner, and from June until now, we are entering into fourth season of Amazing Challenge. Isn't it amazing? I wouldn't believe that I actually will be continuing this like until fourth season, and almost about 80%. We have 70 to 80% graduation rate. It means that the students who join our Amazing Challenge, 80% of them, from not doing a single video consistently to do 7 videos in a week, 80% of the participants, they completed that, right? So a lot of them, they are starting just like you. Some of them, they even like the first video I remember, they are like so nervous. They kind of like on the video, and then like, oh my gosh, shit, this isn't a great of me. They stop the video. So we have participants all over the world, and we are all starting just like you guys. Do not know what to say, introvert, um, constantly don't look at a camera and do not know what to say, but we all managed to pull it through. So do you. So are you up for the challenge? And we are starting the fourth season on 14th of August, and we are closing the registration in 3 days later on. So if, let's say, you're seriously, you want to take this to the next level, you know that doing presentation, whether online or offline, or doing a webinar, or doing a video sales letter, or simply just record a short video, or maybe for TikTok, you know, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reel is something that you want to do in the future, but you just can't get over it, right? This is definitely the things that you want to join. And if, let's say, you want to find out more info, feel free to go to the website www.amazingchallenge.us, or you can actually just send me a message, right? Maybe you're like, oh my God, June, I'm still not sure what to do. Just check on amazingchallenge.us. We have a lot of past students, what they have done, and how much they have enjoyed this, and we have the video inside. And I can't wait to see you guys inside the Amazing Challenge, all right, to do the videos together with all our other challenges. And I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Take care. Bye.